So I decided to document getting in the best shape of my life at 40 years old. I wanted to provide weekly updates. I'm starting to get some amazing results right now. My abs are starting to come in and my skinny jeans no longer look like they were painted on. All joking aside, we are now in week 3. I'm gonna post up my progress photos. I'm gonna post week 1, week 2, and beginning of week 3 as we had just finished week 2. I want to go over some insights on how it feels to transition into a different lifestyle when you're going from kind of just eating whatever you want, half-assing your training and your diet, to getting more serious with your training. I got really busy throughout the year. I'm actually still pretty busy, but I was at one point so busy that my training started to kind of fall behind. I was still kind of maintaining, but I felt like I wasn't as driven to go to the gym because I didn't really have a goal. And what I find in these type of situations is the best way to revamp your motivation is to set a clear and concise goal, which I stated in the previous video. But if you haven't seen the video, this is just a quick recap. What I'm doing for this month: cutting out fast food, cutting out junk food, cutting out sugars, like refined sugars, following a ketogenic diet, so a modified carnivore diet where I'm using fats as fuels. I got a full set of blood work after the first week of doing my ketogenic diet. I wasn't quite in ketosis yet. I thought I would have been in ketosis, but I was explained to by my medical professional that oversees all my blood work that sometimes it takes a couple of weeks for you to actually get into ketosis. I was under the impression that it happens a few days after fasting and doing a ketogenic diet, but I was wrong about this. I want to share this because this is very practical. I'm not doing training right now for a living. There was a time where I did do personal training for a living. Right now I'm running a landscape construction business and doing this as kind of like a side gig. I'm doing YouTube because I want to hold myself accountable, and I also want to share insight on how it feels when you're transitioning over from a lifestyle that's not as healthy to a very healthy lifestyle. So another part of this is we're cutting out vices as well. The only vice I allow myself is I like to smoke cigars. I enjoy cigars and I don't want to cut those out. I don't really think it impedes any of my progress. And I know some people might say it's unhealthy, but it's something I enjoy. I like the flavor. I like the culture surrounding it. I like the conversations I have while I'm smoking cigars. And that's my one thing I like to do that's fun. I want this to be something that's pragmatic and practical, that someone can take some information and it could be helpful for them on their fitness journey. And what I've noticed is once you start making a lifestyle change, there's always a couple of weeks where there's some uncertainty and you're not necessarily seeing immediate results. So when I had started this, even though I have so much experience with cutting down, as I stated in previous videos, I was a bodybuilder, I was into jujitsu, I competed. I know what it is to cut down. I know what it is to follow low carb diets. I've even cut down on high carb diets. There's a lot of uncertainty when you start transitioning, and even me, I don't know how my body's always gonna respond. And in this case, my body has responded a lot better than I thought it would. But that being said, the first couple of weeks, I didn't notice as much of a result as I may have noticed in the past. As I stated at the beginning of the video, I'm in middle age. I'm starting to become an old man now, and it's a lot harder for us to get back in that kind of conditioning as fast as when you're in your 20s or 30s. So when I first started doing the ketogenic diet, I was used to eating carbs. I was eating Tim Hortons breakfast. That's what we do here in Canada. I was having like fast food whenever I wanted it. I wasn't chubby, but I wasn't ripped. And right now my goal is to just get ripped. I wasn't sure if I was gonna aim to get ripped, but now that I'm seeing the results, I'm super motivated. And prior to this, I was not motivated to train at all. I didn't even want to get into the gym. Now I'm actually excited to get into the gym, and I'm loving the fact that I feel like this, and I want to share it with everyone because sometimes you feel like you have no motivation, you feel like you have low energy, and then you set a goal and you start seeing those little results and you see how hard it is to get them. And once you get them, it replaces the dopamine you're getting from eating all that sugary junk and doom scrolling and all that other stuff that we do nowadays. that just causes more harm than good in our lives. In week 1, when I was transitioning over from eating carbs into eating higher fats and basically cutting out carbs, I noticed the first 3 days I was really low energy. I could still function. I was still working, like an 8-hour day. Then I'd come home. I would go to the gym. Before this, I noticed that I would have to take a nap before I would go to the gym after work. Like I'd come home, I'd take a 20-minute to a half an hour nap and then go to the gym. Now I'm noticing that even if I want to, even when I had that low energy, I still couldn't take a nap. So it's like my energy was sustainable as it was transitioning over. After about 3 days, I started noticing my energy levels were starting to soar up and they were starting to get better. I was starting to get more energy. And then by the 6th or 7th day, I had a ton of energy. Going to work, I was building a retaining wall, so it was heavy. I was dealing with customers and numbers, dealing with promoting my business, as well as doing the YouTube channel and going to the gym every day and doing all my other obligations around the house and with family and stuff. And I noticed that my energy was just high. I couldn't take naps after. Even if I tried to take a nap, it just wasn't happening. So this was a benefit I wasn't necessarily expecting. And I've even seen Joe Rogan talk about this with the ketogenic diet. I had done a ketogenic diet in the past and I never noticed this previously, but now I'm starting to notice it. So that was a good benefit going from 3 days to the end of week 1. I did notice at about the 10th or the 11th day mark, my energy started to dissipate a little bit, which I found kind of interesting. I was starting to have lower energy and it was really hard to keep pushing through with this diet. It was really challenging because I'm like, my energy is going up and now it's going down again. But I had about 2 days of this and now my energy is back. It feels a lot more sustainable. We're now in week 3. I started off at 203 pounds and I weighed in recently at 199 pounds. I know I have muscle memory, so I may gain a little bit of muscle as I'm doing this diet. Sometimes that happens because I'm used to being a big muscular guy. I used to be a lot bigger than I am now, and when I transitioned into martial arts, I got a lot smaller. I lost about 25 pounds of muscle mass, and my body kind of always wants to go to that bodybuilder type of physique. So now that I'm not doing martial arts, I stopped doing jujitsu. I do hit the bag a little bit. I spar a little bit with some friends. I do it for enjoyment. I don't do the jujitsu as much because I kept getting injured, and I just find I get that itch for competition. I end up competing and I get injured. I blew out my knees. I've torn my bicep doing jujitsu. As I'm getting older, I just need to put it away for now. Maybe one day I'll go for my black belt, but right now I'm just focusing on having the best physique possible, promoting overall wellness and having good mental health as I'm doing this. In the past, I used to do crash dieting. I would train twice a day. I would redline. If I needed rest, I would just have that hustle culture mindset where you just keep going, and I found it burnt me out. I'm going to elaborate a lot more on having those burnouts and kind of hitting a rock bottom period in your life and how it teaches you how to be mindful of your rest. You need to rest. Another thing that I noticed since I've been doing this and being more mindful of my mental health is if I have to pick between cardio and training at the gym, I'm not gonna try to cram it all in one day. If I only have energy for one thing, I do one thing good. It's better to do one thing good than to do 2 things half-assed. So what I've been doing is, if I have a day where I don't have the energy to do the weights, I'll do the cardio and I'll try to do really good cardio. It just depends on what's been lacking. I'm just making sure that I'm maintaining 4 to 5 days a week steady state cardio. In the first week, I was at 20 minutes. In the second week, I was doing steady state at 21 minutes. And now I've been, every other training session, I'll add another 2 minutes of cardio. This is being done on the Stairmaster. There's no cheating. I'm not putting my hands at the sides. I know a lot of people like to do that. In my personal opinion, that's cheating. You're robbing yourself of the results. I know it sucks, but go a little bit slower and get the full benefit of the exercise. It's the same thing as when I see guys at the gym, they ask me to spot them and they're benching and they're only going halfway down. If you're only going halfway down, you're not getting the full range of motion. Go all the way down and all the way up. You wanna focus on the pump, the negative. You wanna focus on both aspects of the exercise. That's also another thing that I've been doing differently Since I started this challenge, I'm not ego lifting as much as I was. I will put less weight on the bar and just make that weight feel heavier. I'm focusing on the pump. I'm focusing on building the muscle, making it toned and looking nice. I want to look good for that Christmas sweater party I was talking about. I don't want to look bulky. I'm doing the opposite of what everybody else is probably doing right now, which is cutting down for the holiday season. I'd like this to be something that I carry on with my life. I like the ketogenic diet. I probably will throw in some carb cycling, but I notice my body responds the best on the ketogenic diet. And I did notice when I got my blood work done by my TRT clinic, my blood work has improved since I've been on this ketogenic kick that I've been on. I've also been taking some supplements, as I stated previously. I'm taking Shilajit. I'm taking a little bit of C4 before my workout, which is a pre-workout. I am taking ashwagandha, and I'm taking lion's mane, which is really helpful for cognitive benefit. And I actually initially started taking it so I could make better videos, be more cognitive, be more energetic while I'm doing these videos, because I want to make them entertaining. I don't want to sound flat, and this is kind of fairly new to me. I've been filming videos for a while, but I just started this YouTube channel about a month and a half ago, and I just want to make the best videos I possibly can for the audience that I have, no matter how small or big it may be. I'm on here because I want to promote overall wellness. I've been through a lot in my life. I've been through depressions. I've been through cyclical weight gain. I've had eating disorder in the past, and I want to promote overall wellness. I don't want this to be like an extreme form of dieting or an extreme form of training where you can't sustain it. I want this to be something that I can sustain over time. And I kind of want to build a community on here where we can discuss different training modalities, how to motivate each other. I got some comments recently from other business owners who are super busy. I like to model this as kind of like a channel where some people in their middle age, or even younger people who are really busy and hustling to get, their bag or to get successful. It's a very busy time. We need to work a lot and make money to survive. And I think that it's good to see somebody who actually has to work lots of hours and wear many hats, who's still doing the training and being in shape. And I think right now I am being an example of that, because I'm putting so much effort into all of this and living a more healthy lifestyle. I feel a lot better right now. I feel amazing. I have noticed that I've been sweating a lot more, which is part of going into ketosis. You have a tendency to sweat a little bit more. I'm really happy with how I'm feeling. I'm happy with how I'm training. I'm not overdoing it. I'm not training like 3 hours a day. Sometimes I'm only in the gym for 45 minutes and I'm getting great results. You can get great results this way too. You don't have to believe that myth that you have to be in the gym 3-4 hours a day. You don't have to take things to such extremes that your life completely sucks. You can have a good life and still do this. I'm not eating certain foods right now because I want to push my body to the limit. I want to get in the best shape possible. After I'm done this phase, I'm probably going to allow myself a day a week where I allow myself a couple of things I like a veal sandwich or like a Wendy's burger. But right now, I don't even have an interest in eating any of these foods. Which brings me to another point. In the beginning of these diet challenges, or in the beginning of making a lifestyle change, you will notice that your psychology wants you to go back to your old patterns. That could look like you want to go and eat some sugary food. This is something you have to fight through. It's really difficult. It's almost like a food addiction. After about a week or two of this, it's a lot easier to just not eat that kind of food. Your body doesn't crave it anymore. Your body is operating more optimally, and it's able to function better on a clean diet. So that's a lot of information for one video. I hope you gained some insight, and I hope this video may motivate some people. I'm not prescribing anything I'm doing. This is just my own anecdotal experience that I'm sharing. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical professional. Any type of diet you go on, any type of fitness journey you go on, you should get some blood work from a doctor. I think it's really important. I get a lot of comprehensive blood work done. I pay a lot of extra money for it, and it has definitely helped me with my overall well-being. As I said before in previous videos that you can look up, I've had a lot of mental health stuff that I've had to deal with, and I found getting comprehensive blood work was one of the biggest contributing factors to me pulling myself out of that rut. So that's all I got for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it motivated some people. I hope you gained some insight on what it's like to transition into different modes of training and eating. And I'll see you in the next video. I'll be posting another video with an update on week 4, maybe week 4 and 5. It just depends on how busy I get and if I'm able to make a quality video that I can put out. But that's all I got for this one. Have a good morning, have a good afternoon, have a good evening. See you in the next video. I'm out.